Hello all, it's the 18th of October 2016 and it's Dan here from Essex, United Kingdom. So this is an introductory video to a series that I'm going to do, and what I'm going to do is review some power tools that I use. So working as a professional gardener, one of the things that you need to be is adaptable, because you never quite exactly know what you're going to sort of be presented with when you attend a job, even if people have told you what they want doing and exactly what plant, bush, tree, shrub, etc. that it is. So what I like to do is to use a variety of tools, and with these tools I can generally sort of deal with a lot of things, if not the majority of things that I encounter on a day-to-day basis. So what we'll start off with is a good hedge trimmer. So this is the Stihl HS45. Now there are more expensive models than this. This has got a 24-inch blade. I'll just see if I can take this off and just show you the blade. So there we go, there's the blade. And you can see it's a good size. If I put my hand next to it, you can see just how big that blade is. Now, this is great for your conifer hedges, your privet hedges. You can cut sort of thin buddleia with this. It really is a good tool, and I've used this heavily now for well over one season, on a very regular basis, and it hasn't caused me any problems whatsoever. So there's that one, and what I intend to do in the future is give a more detailed review of each and every implement that I'm going to show you. So that's the Stihl HS45. Now this is a chainsaw that I like to use. This is the Stihl MS211. It's got a 16-inch blade. I find a 16-inch blade is a very sort of good general all-purpose saw. You can deal with most things with this. Now if you were taking down a huge oak tree, you'd probably want one obviously a bit bigger than this, but you can do logging with this. You can take down average sized trees. You can do all sorts with it really. So that's a Stihl MS211. You put your chain oil in there. You need to make sure that you put your chain oil in, because if you don't, your blade will run dry, and trust me, that's not what you want, because you can blunt your chain and all horrible things like this. You really don't want that. And here is where you put your fuel, which is 2-stroke. You don't put normal petrol in any of these tools that I've got here. You always make sure you've got your 2-stroke oil mixed, and make sure you mix it properly as well, or else you'll gunk your engine up, and you really don't want that, because that can get expensive. So this is a very good saw. So as I said, for logging and medium-sized small trees, branches, etc. Great saw, not too heavy. I would recommend one of these. Now this is one of the most versatile bits of kit you can get. So this here, hang on, let me just show you what we got. This is the Stihl KM94RC, and what this is basically is a multi-tool. So you can see there, this is the actual unit itself, very light with a strap for support. And what you do is you put many sort of different attachments on this that you want. Once again, your 2-stroke, and as I stated earlier, I will go into more detail on these as I do the reviews. And I'll just show you some of the attachments that I've got. So this here, this is a lopper attachment. It basically looks like a chainsaw on a stick. There we go. And this is a 12-inch blade. Now this is brilliant. Now you treat it like a normal chainsaw basically. Now you put your chain oil in here, and you've got your normal chainsaw bolt here and your tensioner here that you use with a flathead screwdriver. You do your usual thing, pull it out, and you want it to be so that the teeth are just in there when it's taut. You don't want your blade too slack, because it can fly off and cause damage, if not death, and it won't work properly. And too tight, you'll just wear your chain out and have to buy a new one. It gets expensive, and we don't want that sort of thing. So this goes right into the KM94RC unit. You can see here, look, that's the attachment. Another one that I like to use regularly, this here this makes it incredibly useful. And what this is like a hedge trimmer attachment, and I have used this on brush as well. You can cut brambles with this, and you just basically, what you do, hang on, I'll just pause the video for a mo. Okay, here we go. It's got all different angles on it here, so you can have it at, you know, all different degrees, so you can walk along, cut hedges at different angles from the ground. You could use, if you use this off the end of a ladder, which you've got to be very careful of, obviously, you really can get some high reach, which is great for them high to reach sort of brambles or sort of thin straggly bits that go flying in the air. Incredibly useful. Once again, this goes on the end of the KM94RC 2-stroke unit. And this here, we all know what this is. This is a strimmer. So this is a strimmer attachment, goes on the end of the unit as well, and this is very good. Nice wire. I mean, I purchased this quite a while ago and I haven't replaced the spool yet of the wire, but of course a lot of that is because I'm very careful with it. I don't rag the guts out of the engine and spin it around too fast, and then it causes damage. Obviously you don't want to be using it on stuff that's mega thick. You don't want to be hitting concrete kicker boards with it too much, too hard, because it damages them, or slabs. Well, it doesn't damage the kicker board, but it damages the plastic there. It flies off and it just becomes, you know, it wears down, and it's not really what it's for. You just need to be careful with any of these implements. But this is a first class strimmer, which, you know, gets me through most sort of jobs that I need to get through. Really is good. So why do I use Stihl? Well, some people say Stihl are expensive, and yes they are, you know, they do cost more than other brands, but here in the UK parts for Stihl are very easy to get hold of, and you can often find someone who works for Stihl, who knows their way around them, or is trained by Stihl. You know, if you buy some of these sort of brands which people don't work on quite so much, then it might be harder to get parts. And when you're working as a professional gardener, you need your tools. You know, you need to look after these tools incredibly well, because as an old boy I know who was a gardener, who's now retired, he says you look after your tools and they will look after you. And that's what you really need to be thinking of. So you need to make sure you either service them yourself if you know what you're doing, or get someone regularly to service them. You know, sharpen your blades, etc, etc. And you want to be, as I stated earlier, as versatile as possible if you want to succeed. So even if you're just using, you know, just for home use, so let's say you have a medium-sized garden, well, one of these KM94RCs really is good. I mean, this is the professional model. There is a model below this, I believe, which I haven't actually got. I've got this one here. But so you've got your lopper attachment for your pruning, you've got your hedge trimmer attachment for your hedge trimmer, long reach or not, and your strimmer attachment. And then if you have a lawnmower as well, you know, you can deal with a lot of things that you will encounter in that you know, in your garden. So Stihl are a German company. I believe the founder was called Andreas Stihl, and please forgive me if I'm correct, didn't he invent the first chainsaw or something like that? So, you know, look at what you want, think about what you want. Of course, these tools do come at a price, and you can sometimes get second-hand ones, but you know, you do get quality. So there's loads of other good makes out there. Stihl aren't the only good make out there, there's many more. So hope you've enjoyed this introductory video to garden power tools, a series that will soon be coming. The first video I'm going to do is regarding this Stihl chainsaw here, when I get time to do it. What I want to do is to show you this up against, you know, different sorts of woods. I've got some big old plum stumps, I've got some, what else have I got? I've got some laurel, I've got some buddleia, all sorts of different woods I want to show you this up against, to show you just how good and versatile saw it is. So that will be number one. Okay then, all the best and speak soon.